Before we go, let me say one last thing that's very bizarre about this incident in light of the numbers I've been studying and reporting on. From my birthday, my 33rd birthday, I turned 33 this year, the infamous number. From my birthday to the date of the car crashing into the home was 156 days. 156 days. And because the car crashed into the home, somebody had to dial 911. 911 is the 156th prime number. These numbers often coming together. And when you write out 33, it sums to 156. The only other number that's that way is the perfect number 28. 28 also sums to 156. No other numbers do. And the reason 28 is a perfect number is because if you take all the numbers that divide into 28 and add them together, they sum to 28. Very few perfect numbers. So anyway, I was in Oregon, my birth state, the 33rd state, my 33rd Christmas on this earth. Yeah, that's correct. Or Christmas Eve, as it was. Oregon's the 33rd state. The abbreviation's OR, 33. You know how perfect? Here's Oregon, the 33rd state. Established February 14th, 1859. The numerology of that is 2 plus 14 plus 18 plus 59. And hey, what else is February 14th? But it's a date with 93 numerology. And again, 33rd state. Remember, the World Trade Centers, there was the 93 World Trade Center bombing on February 26th, which was perfectly synced up with the September 11th, 2001, if you've never seen my work on that. The date 9/11 or 11/9. 93 World Trade Center bombing, September 11th, 2001. That day there was flight 93 of 33 passengers. The first plane, flight 11, that hit the buildings. The big buildings that look like giant 11s in the 11th state, New York. That plane supposedly hit floors 93 through 99. The building that stands there now today, One World Trade Center in Gematria, equals 93. You know, we've been talking about how significant this number 93 is. One World Trade Center. Where there used to be two. Two is now one. World trade, one world order. So anyway, 33rd state, date with 93 establishment. Nike's there. Just to show you real quick, Nike, headquartered in Oregon. I always thought it was bizarre why we have this monster company there. Nike 39. So look at this. My sister, her birthday is December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, 12/7. My birthday's, just look at it, 12/7, 7/21. Mine's July 21st. They're reflections of each other. From her birthday to mine, I was born July 21st, 1983. From her birthday, the last birthday she had without me, to the day I was born, 226 days. Or a span of 227, the pi number. Coming back to cycles and circles, which totally ties in with Saturn and time, keeper of time. The word planet in Jewish gematria is 226. The word Saturn is 93. Think about the 93 World Trade Center bombing on February 26th, 226, synced up with September 11th, 2001. 11/9, special number, Saturn in Francis Bacon gematria, where you add plus 26 more for each capital letter. Francis Bacon gematria, Saturn is 119. 93 plus 26 more for the capital S, 119. My father, his birthday, April 18th, to my mother's birthday, September 8th, 144 days. Number for time, Saturn, the keeper of time. My sister, who was the reason I was in the church building, is a Sagittarius, astrological sign, born Pearl Harbor Day. I'm a Cancer. And if you write out 44, it takes you right back to 144. And what else trips me out now that I think about it is my sister was born in 1971. She just turned 45. My sister just turned 45 earlier this month. That's the sum of the magic square of Saturn is 45. I just wonder how many people worldwide, if they were aware of this knowledge, would see these same things replicating in their life. You know? That's why I'm sharing this story. To be clear. I have a feeling things like this are happening for more people than we know. The more you learn, the more interesting this world becomes. That's why they say knowledge is power. And you know, something else I want to say, remember to use this knowledge wisely. There's a lot of videos that have been made saying that this car crash I made up, it's a fiction. If you watch some of the videos that have been put together, like somebody points out that my girlfriend's car wheel has 5 spokes, and they say, oh, see, he's getting in the 5-pointed star symbolism. That's the Pentagon. You know, really? I'll show you guys something more interesting. Toyota in gematria. Remember, Freemasons run this world. Automobiles, huge. Look at Toyota has that gematria of 96 like Freemason. And you can't start going, oh, that person's driving a Toyota, they're a Freemason. I mean, think about how many people drive Toyotas. Think about how many people have 5-spoke wheels. Somebody literally made a video saying the 5-spoke wheels signs that it's a hoax. Unreal, people. Toyota Camry. Look at that gematria. You know? You want to know what's funny? We couldn't decide whose car to take. Her car, which is a Toyota Camry, or mine, and I'm glad we took her car because if her car was parked where it was, it might have gotten hit by the vehicle. So, at least we avoided that. Then again, maybe it hit the vehicle, it wouldn't have hit the house, it wouldn't have been as bad. Hard to say. But that is what kind of car was that we were driving in the night of the wreck 156 days after my birthday. But then again, how many people are driving Toyota Camrys? These names, though, they're not arbitrary. The gang has named these things accordingly because these numbers are so powerful. And now here they are just manifesting in my own life after exposing them for going on 3 years. So yeah, this really pops off. This makes my head pop off. And here, that Facebook image I told you about, let me just pull it up for you so you can see it with your own eyes. Remember to join All for Truth. You know, instead of sending me a friend request on Facebook, how about go find me on All for Truth? I'm trying to get off Facebook, but a lot of people are stubborn because their friends and family are here, so I'm keeping this profile up. Hold on, let me get to my own wall. It's funny watching my wall because people share my videos. You know, it's funny, 3 years ago, I was doing this work and everybody who knew me thought I was absolutely insane. Before I had a blog or a video channel, the only place I posted any of these ideas were with my friends and family to see what they thought. And everyone thought it was time to check me into the insane asylum. But look at this. Hold on, I want to find the picture. Sorry, everybody who I haven't had time to look at your things yet. I'll go back and look at them all. But look at this. Posted this in the middle of the night. You know, you take the picture, you click the button to upload it to Facebook, put your little caption on it. I had no idea when I did this. It was 2:26 in the morning. Christmas Day, Saturnalia, the ancient Roman festival. Again, we talked about 93, Saturn, Saturnalia. On the day, I'm uploading at 2:26. And I didn't mean to at all. I noticed that for the first time yesterday and it just made my head pop off. So that's the full story, Truth Seeker. Remember, we're trying to build the human network. Oh, don't tell me we've gotten it again. Anyway, normally it just pops right up. allfortruth.com, new social media platform for truth seekers. No censorship, 100% safe. We are keeping out trolls, though. We're seeing the people who are there to attack and vicious. The only rule here is to be respectful. You know, if somebody's having a conversation about something you don't agree with, if you can't find a way to express yourself politely here, don't do it. This is the place where we want to be nice to each other, work together. This is about building teamwork, not competing. It's not who has the best idea. This website's not about me. A lot of people right now are trying to say All for Truth's all about me. It is not. It is about the truth-seeking community. It's about making a human alliance, a network. There's safety in numbers. I've realized I'm kind of like a man on an island doing what I'm doing right now. It would be nicer if there was a team of people worldwide doing this. If there was a bunch of us doing this, we'd all be safer. So yeah, nice website. We got forums, polls, blogs, more features coming, the marketplace. But before we can launch the marketplace, because it's going to be expensive the way it is, we need to see more people sign up for the website. And I thought by now there'd be a lot more people here. We launched December 15th, so a little more than 2 weeks ago. Or you know what? Today's the 2-week anniversary. Let's see how many people are on the website. But anyway, just trying to show you guys. There's forums going on, pages and pages of forums, awesome discussions happening. We're keeping out the trolls. But look at this. This is only how many people have joined so far in 2 weeks. 570 men and less than 200 women. So we're under, and 6 intersex people. And, I don't know if these people are really intersex or if they're just trying to keep it private. But anyway, about 800 people. Not even quite 800 people yet. 2 weeks. So I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks we can really improve on that. I'm hoping all of you who are on Facebook who haven't come over yet, what are you waiting for? Facebook, they're spying on you. They're collecting your information. They're making money off you. Over here, none of that's happening. This is just a safe place to have open conversations. Thank you, everyone who's joined. Hopefully, we can grow our numbers a lot and do something big. But have no fear, Truth Seeker. I don't tell you my story to scare you. I just, just telling you what's going on. And I know if there were more people out in the world doing what I was doing, if I am getting picked on, they wouldn't be able to pick on me this way. And here's another closing thought. Recently I told a story that I'd never told before, and the reason I hadn't told that story is because it's so unbelievable what happened to me. When I was arrested wrongfully, being harassed by my neighbor who burglarized my house and then went out and filed a restraining order strategically, which a judge upheld, when that was going on, being harassed, and I finally responded to him, you guys have seen how I've dealt with people who attack me. When I'm talking to people, I can put up with a lot. I was getting harassed for days by my neighbor who did something awful to me, who, in a better world, there'd be some justice, let me tell you. But anyway, harassing. Finally, one day I gave in and told him to F off and go back in his house. I got arrested for that. And when I returned from jail, this 100% happened. When I returned from jail, 2 vehicles with men I've never seen since that day showed up. They were standing outside of their vehicles holding guns, seemingly looked like semi-automatic rifles, the kind you can get at your gun store. Just hanging out, standing in front of my neighbor's house who just burglarized my house, hanging out, some of them looking in my direction of my house. I called the police to let them know what was going to go on. It took them over an hour to show up. The men were long gone by the time the police came. And the officer who responded, who I talked to on the phone long before he came, and back then when I was talking to him on the phone, he was trying to tell me that, well, are they even doing anything wrong? This is America and you can have guns. He was just acting like it didn't even matter. 5 cops were there, not 5 cops, 5 police cars, and all of them with 2 men were there to arrest me in less than 10 minutes. The first one showing up within 5 after I told my neighbor to F off after he'd been harassing me. All these cops showed up for that. But it took over an hour for a police officer to respond when I said all these men are standing in front of my house who I'd never seen before with guns. And when he showed up and again said the same thing to me, that this was America, people could have guns. For all of you saying, well, why didn't I post a video? Not everyone goes out and records something right away and thinks they're going to upload a video. That's not what I was thinking in the moment. I was thinking, okay, there's crazy people in front of my house. Crazy things are going on. These guys have guns. I didn't want to go stand in front of the window and take a picture or start recording. What I did right away is I called the police and I got on the phone with them and told them what was up. And then I didn't go stand in the front of my house where all these people were. I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, when the police did show up, it was my neighbor who notified me in the first place these men were in front of the house because I really was in the shower when I got the phone call. But anyway, when the police officer came and he was questioning me and acting like it didn't really happen, I had him go over and talk to the neighbor, and the neighbor came out and said, yes, they were standing here. We'd never seen them before. We didn't know what they wanted. It seemed like they were trying to intimidate Zach. Well, what the officer said back to her, who was a female, is the same thing he said to me. This is America. People can have guns. They were probably just going to go to the shooting range. Well, we've never seen these people before, and they've never come back since. And when the officer left, one of the last things he said to me was, if I were you, I would move. Is that what an officer should say? I lived here before these criminals across the street, I don't feel like I should have to run away from my home. I feel like I should live in a world where I'm able to defend myself. And I don't feel like I should live in a world where I have to pay taxes to a police department that won't do jack shit about anything and then in fact will come arrest me after I've had, my life harassed, destroyed by this person, and the police haven't lifted a finger for it. And for all the other people who've made the videos saying that my story's changed over time, realize I first put out the story about my home being burglarized right after it happened. As time went on and things happened and I saw how the police responded and being harassed and all of this, I realized this was more than just my neighbor. You know, a person doesn't normally go out and buy the same vehicle as their neighbor after they burglarize their house right after that person helped them out. You know, it's not the first time somebody helped somebody out and then they got screwed over for it. A lot of people who help people know that story. But I really got it. And then the person went even further out of their way to cause more chaos in my life, you know? So everything I'm telling you, it's true. And another part of the reason I want to tell you the story of the guns is because it's kind of scary. And I don't want to scare people. And I'm still not, you know, that's the point today. I still don't want to scare you. I'm just saying all of this is happening. This has been my reality in the time I've been doing this work, putting out the message. I never had these kind of problems in my life before. You know? So I find this whole thing bizarre. The timing of it, you know, the fact that the police report's written days after the fact. I tried to get the police report on Christmas Day and they said they didn't have one. They just had the case number. And I thought, what? There's no paper report? Well, you saw it was drawn up early at midnight the next day, signed off at 12:33 a.m. What's 12 in numerology? Is it all a coincidence? You know, as I've shown you, there's something organic going on here, but how much of is it actually organic? In 2 months from now, I'll have more information. And when I share what's new, you know, somebody will probably make a video and say, look, Zach's story's changed. You know, these people online that try to get views off me and try to get the better of me, it's just pathetic. All these people who attack me are not on the right side of the fence in this war, you know. I don't know who in the internet or in this world, even outside the internet, is putting out more helpful information for us to fight back against the tyranny that's upon us. There's a reason I have a target. And for the police to mess with me, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Look at the things I've said about the police on my video channel, you know. It's like a 200-hour running episode of things you probably shouldn't say. So there it is, Truth Seeker. Until next time.